whatever that is. I still don't know what that is. Okay, V1, rotate. There we go. Nice smooth departure. What's going on, guys? Flyby Simulations here, and welcome back. I've been dying to say those words for over, I don't know, a month now, but welcome back to another full flight video on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And yes, I know, it's been a long time since I've been out of the business, been out of the YouTube space, so a lot of reasons for that. Basically, a lot of family stuff happening, personal stuff happening, relationships, all of that stuff, as well as exams that I had. So for those of you guys who don't know, I know most of you do know if you're long-standing followers of the channel or subscribers to the channel. I'm a university student. I'm 19 years old, and I'm currently going to university in Canada. However, I've been doing distance education at the moment because of the current pandemic, and because of that, the exams seem to be a lot harder than they would be because professors kind of put in anti-cheating measures and stuff like that. So it's going to be much harder, and that's why I've not been able to upload a video in so long. However, with the start of the new year, Happy New Year to you folks, by the way. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a great festive period. But yeah, basically, with the new year coming, I decided to, not with the new year coming, with the new year already here, it's the 3rd of January as of today, I decided to record a video and start the year off with a bang on this channel, where we're going to be taking this SAS, Star Alliance livery aircraft. So I couldn't really find a Scandinavian Airlines original livery for the A320 Neo mod fly-by-wire for the simulator. I checked all the forums, nothing I could find. So this is the only SAS livery I could find. But yeah, we're going to be taking this beautiful baby of an aircraft all the way from here in Oslo, Norway, ICAO code Echo November Golf Mike. And we're going to be taking this all the way to Stockholm Arlanda International Airport, which is Echo Sierra Sierra Alpha. The details of the entire route, as well as our cruising altitude and stuff like that, should be visible on the bottom left or bottom right, somewhere on the screen right now. Yeah, so we're going to be taking this flight. It's, as you guys can see, it's winter months. So the last time I made a full flight video, we did an A330 flight, if I'm not mistaken, from Hong Kong to Manila. And though that was in a hot part of the world, this time I decided to pursue a cold part of the world because I wanted to see some snow in the simulator. I've never flown in snow because X-Plane 11 never natively supported snow. So I'm super excited to see how this pans out. It looks nice. It's not snowy weather right now. However, there is a thick sheet of snow that is engulfing the ground at the moment. In the time that I haven't actually, by the way, this is my first flight that I'm doing after 40 days. So you have to know that I'm going to be rusty. It's not going to be like, nothing's going to come back to me like that quickly. Although it's flying an aircraft is sort of like riding a bike. If you've done it once and if you're good at it, it normally comes back to you pretty quickly. So hoping to get that all sorted. There's some weird artifacting going on over there. And as I've been told on the Microsoft forums, this has to do with the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020's latest updates. They've severely reduced the draw distance and LOD level of detail on various terrain objects, the mesh in general, as well as different vegetation such as trees, bushes, stuff like that. So if you were able to see high detailed objects from 10,000 feet in previous updates, after the latest update, they've reduced it by as far as up to 6,000 or 7,000 feet. So you're not going to be able to see things as clearly unless you're super close to them. So I think that those artifacts over there are a result of that poor update. It was set to be for performance, but as you guys can clearly see on the top right, I'm not really experiencing any major performance gains. This used to be what I used to get even in the previous updates. However, now it is at the expense of some visual quality as well, which I do not like. So if Microsoft is watching this video, which I know is a very little chance, you guys can promote the video by posting it on Reddit and sharing it around. But if you are watching this video, Microsoft, this is unacceptable, especially on a high-end system. Anyways, with that all said, I don't want to be hooting on about the negative aspects of the sim. Let's jump into the flight deck and get this aircraft all prepared and ready to go. Alright, yeah, it's been a while since I've been in the cockpit of this aircraft. Also, I've enabled motion blur for those of you guys wondering why every time I transition from different panel to panel, it's kind of having that weird following effect. That's because of the motion blur setting that I have engaged. Anyways, let's go up to the overhead panel and let's get started. So external power can come on. Ooh, I think the fly-by-wire team has also updated their sounds. Interesting. Let's get the batteries up and running. Alright, let's adjust the ventilation in the cockpit and the forward cabin as well as the aft cabin. In fact, let's put it to the hot side. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty cold. As far as what I got from the METAR information, the current temperature at Oslo is around about -2 degrees, I think. So it's pretty cold here. So let's give the passengers as well as the cabin crew and the pilots a little bit of warmth in the flight deck. All right, so what did we do? That was just muscle memory right there. Emergency exit lights to arm, no smoking signs to auto, to on, and nav and logo light can also come on. We can get the crew supply on, and let's go ahead and dial up the brightness of these displays. It's going to be pretty dark here, as we're under a pretty thick layer of cloud, not a lot of sun. So let's get the brightness of these displays here up as well. I'm again going to turn these off because from what I've seen on the from the SDK updates and stuff, Microsoft really hasn't enabled multi-monitor support within the flight deck. So it's obviously going to be much more buggy if I leave both of those on. It's all right. Let's go ahead and get some lighting here in the flight deck. Ooh, looks fantastic. Getting few stutters here, which I do not appreciate, but it is what it is. It's all right. And let's go ahead and align the IRS system. So put the... Ooh. There's definitely been some great improvements to sound, even when it comes to those panels and knob sounds. Alright, so let's go into the FMGC. They've added quite a few options relating to configuring ATIS information, getting weather information for the local airport, and ATC communication and stuff like that. But we're going to be taking a look at that in a future video. This video, I just wanted to be a casual sort of a comeback video where I upload sort of a simple flight between point A to point B. So we're going to be taking this aircraft from Echo November Golf Mike and going all the way to Echo Sierra Sierra Alpha. So let's enter that in. There we go. And IRS initialization, let's align it on reference. There we go. Let's confirm the alignment. That should start the process of IRS alignment. All right, and for the rest of the information, of course, as usual, I'll include a little pop-up reference card on the top left hand of the screen here so you guys can follow along the information that I am inputting. Let me just pull that up here very quickly. There we go. Pop-out reference card is available. There we go. All right, so the cost index for today's flight happens to be... where do I find it? Yeah, it's been a while. This is what I said when I was going to be rusty. Okay, cost index is going to be 32. The cruise flight level is going to be 330, so 33,000 feet. There we go. It's going to be a pretty short flight. I think 1 hour, 18 minutes was the flight duration. If I am not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. The alternate airport, I'm pretty sure I can find here on the actual flight plan itself. The alternate airport is going to be Echo Foxtrot Tango Uniform. I have no idea what airport that is, but I'm just going to input that in here. Pretty sure it's going to be a standard flight, so we're not going to be needing the alternate airport or anything. That's all right. Have they enabled wind temperature? Oh, look at that. You can now get wind information here as well. Interesting. I've already inputted the fuel as well as the payload within the flight right before I even started the flight, so we didn't have to waste time on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and line select this value. Oh, there we go. They've also added fuel planning features. Very interesting. Okay, so you can, I guess you can click this and you can get the block fuel information as for what the aircraft thinks you're going to need for the flight. So we're going to need 3,400 kilograms of fuel according to what the aircraft specifies. However, we're going to go with a more conservative measure of 5.3 tons because that's what our flight plan says, as you guys can see on the left side of the screen here. That calculates an accurate takeoff weight at 64.1 tons and a landing weight of 62.9 tons. Hopefully that is the case, and we are only burning fuel and not throwing passengers and cargo out of the plane during cruise. But yeah, as long as these values are preserved, we should have a smooth touchdown at Stockholm eventually when we get there. Okay, so let's go ahead and start entering our flight plan. It's going to be pretty simple today. So a departure, the runway we're departing from is 01 left, so the first one on here, and the standard instrument departure, or SID, we are taking is the Maze 4 Alpha departure, which I think we just missed. There we go. Maze 4 Alpha departure is set, and let's go ahead and insert that information. Now let's go to Massive, and we only have one airway and one waypoint on our route. Again, as mentioned before, very, very small route. So Zulu 184, oh sorry, Zulu 183 was the airway. Apologies, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, LTOC is the waypoint we're taking. Echo Lima Tango Oscar Kilo. Again, feel free to copy this route if you guys want to follow the similar route in your home simulators as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and enter the arrival information. We're again arriving into ILS 01 left. So we're departing from 01 left and arriving into 01 left. That doesn't happen all the time. All right, and the arrival star is Alto 7 Mike, which is this one right here. There we go. We have no vias. So let's go ahead and insert that information. And let's come back to the flight plan and make sure that we don't have any discontinuities. I still don't think the fly-by-wire team have implemented the discontinuities logic within the MCDU, but that's what we have so far. And that's pretty much what we need, I'm pretty sure. So next up, all we have to do... Oh, wow, the IRS systems have aligned pretty quickly. I think the fly-by-wire team has also created an option for you to set the IRS align time to either fast, realistic, or instant. So I think this was set to fast by default, so that's why it ended up aligning that quickly. Oh well, we'll have a early departure. I'm not complaining about that. Before we enter the perf information, as usual, we're going to go up top and also start up the APU. It's very cold weather today, so it might take a while to start. Let's wait for the APU flap to open over here. In the meantime, we can also take a look at some weather information at the local airport. So the METAR information suggests that the QNH is 1026. So we can, first of all, switch this to QNH. Oh, flap is open. So let's go ahead and start the APU here. And we can set 1026 over here. There we go. And we can also do the same on the standby altimeter display down here. There we go. And our what's it called? Initial altitude, initial climb is going to be 7,000 feet, which also happens to be our transition altitude out of this airport. I'll put a little sort of picture of the departure chart on screen so you guys can make sure that I am right and reprimand me in the comment section if I am wrong. So let me know if I got that value wrong. Flight directors can come on both sides. Constraint can come on my side, airport on the other side, and auto throttle system can... Actually, we'll leave the auto throttle off until we put in the performance information inside the MCDU here. So we can go into the perf page, and we can go ahead and line select the V1, VR, and V2 values. I checked the patch notes of the latest version of the fly-by-wire A320NX mod, and they've added accurate speed values, V-speed values. So you can just line select these values and you should be good to go. Transition altitude, as mentioned just before, was 7,000 feet, and enter that in there. Let's check the runway length here. So 01 left. Yeah, Oslo is a pretty large airport, 3,600 meters. So yeah, we're not going to need much of a flex temperature. We can go for flex temperature of maybe 70 degrees. That should be okay. There we go. And the flaps, we can go for flap 1 takeoff. So 1 Delta November 0.0. Can enter that in there. So trim is going to be 0.0. And the flap position itself is going to be 1. And there is the performance information all entered in, as well as the QNH entered, and everything is pretty much good to go. We can also take this time to go ahead and put in the squawk code of 2000. There we go. We can lock the flight deck door, and we can also go ahead and engage the seatbelt sign. APU is available. Let's go ahead and get the APU bleed on, and you should hear the faint rumble of the air entering the cabin. There we go. Perfect. What time is it in the sim? It is currently 12:30 p.m. So our original departure time was 12, if I'm not mistaken, 12:40 p.m. I'll check that real quick for you guys. Yeah, we depart here at 12:39 p.m. and the takeoff actually happens at 1:07 p.m. So that's pretty late. We can actually go ahead and fast forward time in the simulator a little bit to about 12:35. There we go. That sounds good. Yeah, and we're pretty much good to go. Let's lower the brightness of these displays a little bit so it's not blinding. And let's get these brightened up. Perfect. And yeah, we're pretty much good to go, guys. We can get the auto throttle system on now that we've entered the performance data within the simulator. And yeah, we're good to go. So let's go ahead and get ready for pushback. I'm also going to take a look at our taxi route all the way to the runway. So again, I'll leave a little picture of the chart on screen here as to where we are and where we're supposed to be going. So how do I take a screenshot? It's been so long since I've done all this, so I've just, my efficiency has fallen off the charts here. So 01 left is actually really, really close to us. So just a pushback, tail right, nose left pushback, and then we go straight on kilo, take a left on Mike, and go all the way down to runway 01 left, take a right, and we zoom off of 01 left into the into the clouds. So pretty simple taxi route, and I think we are ready for that. So I'm going to pull up my pushback helper tool, and we'll also go ahead and disable the external power, no longer need it. We are completely self-sufficient with the APU. Adjust the ventilation one more time. Let's get the beacon light on. Strobe light can come to auto, and we can get all the fuel pumps up and running to help us start the engines. All right, there we go. We are good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of the jetway here. Jetway can go. By the way, this scenery, for those of you wondering, is a freeware scenery that I found on FlightSim.2 website. That was a pretty severe disconnection of the jetway there. But yeah, this is a freeware scenery. It's one of the better ones that I've seen. It includes custom models. So for example, the jetway model, as you can see, is completely custom made. And other aspects of the scenery are also custom made, including, as you can see, there's like some CCTV cameras and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So I'll leave a link to the scenery down in the description section of the video if you guys are looking to depart out of this airport yourselves. And yeah, let's go ahead and connect the pushback tug, which you can see is now connecting to the aircraft. And yeah, we are pretty much ready for departure in all aspects. We can get the predicted wind shear off, but we'll do all of that once we have started the engines up. Also, it's icy conditions today with signs of visible moisture up in the air. So we're going to leave the engine start switch to the ignition / start position instead of the normal mode. As far as I can tell from other A320 videos I've watched in the past, that's the appropriate thing to do during non-normal procedures, such as icy departures and stuff. Okay, we're starting the pushback. Let's go ahead and disable the parking brake and start up engine number 2 on the push as usual. Let's see what we have here. So let's immediately start pushing ourselves to the right. Tail right, nose left. So there we go. You can see the engine number 2 firing up there. There we go. Let's start turning the aircraft. Yeah, we have zero visibility of the taxiway actually here, so I don't even know where the taxiway is. But that's alright. Ooh, they've also updated the engine sounds. 100%. Those have been updated. Sounds good. Okay. Continuing that right turn. That was almost the perfect time to start that pushback. That was good. Okay. There we go. Push back a little straight, and then continue that right turn there as usual. There we go. And continue that straight pushback, and we can go ahead and stop that pushback procedure. And we are continuing to slide, are we? Okay, let's go ahead and set the parking brake here. Perfect. And engine number 2 is available, as you can see, 19.4% on the N1, and we can go ahead and start engine number 1 as well. Let's go ahead and listen to this, because I think they've updated the sounds on the engines. We should have rumble on the CFM LEAP engines here. Ooh, look at that. Listen to that. That sounds fantastic. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, the passenger announcements. I'm planning to get that plugin as well, like the Payware plugin, where you can get passenger announcements and you can, you can do passenger announcements and stuff. I've seen that on Drawya's videos. I don't know if you know that YouTube channel. It's a pretty popular one for Microsoft Flight Simulator content. But yeah, he has this plugin where you can do like personal announcements, and you can set like custom cabin sounds and stuff like that. It's pretty good. It's a good immersive plugin that I'm planning to purchase for the channel. All right, N1 is rising, as you see, 18.7%. We are still going up on the N1, 19.6, 19.5. There we go. Engine 1 is available. We don't have to switch this to normal today because of the icing conditions. We can go ahead and set... oh, I haven't even connected. Look at my preparation here. It's honestly god-awful here. Let me just go ahead and connect my peripheral devices here. Apologies for this. Let's go ahead and say keep default. Let's resume, and let's go ahead and set flaps to 1. And let's go ahead and take ground spoilers to armed. And let's also do a flight control check in the meantime. So flight control check, full up, full down, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, rudder all the way to the left. Still very twitchy, but I think that's on my end. That's not the simulator's fault. And all the way to the right. All right, flight control check completed. Let's get this back to the engine page. And we are ready to proceed. So straight on Kilo, as mentioned before, and then onto Mike, and then all the way left on Mike to the end of the runway, 01 left. So parking brake released. Let's go ahead and give ourselves some thrust. I don't know if they've fixed the issue with the thrust in the aircraft. Yeah, they seem to have. We seem to be moving with around about 23.3% thrust here, which is good. There we go. Let's get aligned ourselves on the center line here. In the meantime, let's also go ahead and set predicted wind shear to auto. And let's get the TCAS system on. We'll set it to TARA once we enter the runway, but for now we can put the TCAS system to the on mode at least. Oh, also, taxi light can come on, and the APU bleed and APU systems can both go off. There we go. Now we have some lighting in front of us. Oh, we seem to be moving very fast. I think they massively sort of changed the thrust within the aircraft. It is a lot more realistic now. A partially fueled and not completely loaded up A320 should have these thrust parameters. Before, the A320 used to be a bit of a fat slob when it came to actually moving on the ground. It required like 40%. If you go and watch like some of my older videos, especially the Copenhagen to Helsinki video, it required like 40% thrust to get moving on the ground, which is completely unrealistic for any aircraft. Much less the smaller aircraft like the A320 or the 737. All right, we're on mic, and this, as you guys can see, this Christmas sort of light spectacle that you guys are seeing is runway 01 left, and that's what we're going to be taking off of. We can also go ahead and set auto brake max here, and we can go ahead and do a cabin check and takeoff config test. So let's go ahead and do the takeoff config test first. There we go. Takeoff is normal, and let's go ahead and ding the cabin. There we go. Cabin crew seats for takeoff. Let's go ahead and see what we see from the external view here. We have this very weird patch of no snow here, which I don't know what's happening, but we'll take it. We have some visibility of the taxiway at least. We seem to be moving relatively fast. Yeah, we're going 28 knots right now. Let's slow ourselves down here a little bit, puppy. There we go. Yeah, in other news, guys, the channel has been doing exceedingly well, so thank you every single one of you guys who actually decided to subscribe to the channel for more flight sim content. I don't normally take 30-day long breaks, so don't worry about it. I'm going to be coming back in full swing, and we're going to have more of these full flight episodes, more tutorial episodes, such as my settings guide, which is a completely unadulterated settings guide that I'm planning to make for the simulator, as well as my beloved Aircraft Dissected series, where we do a deep dive into every single system and panel inside the flight deck of these different complex aircraft, such as the 737 or the A320, and we literally dissect them. So that's going to be coming. More episodes on that. I've already been working on the script for episode 3 of the A320 series of aircraft. And that should be coming out in a couple days here. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. The channel has also been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. So I'm going to start making some money off of this, which I guarantee that I'm going to be entirely spending back into the channel. So right now, I'm not even making that much money off of YouTube. So practically going to be investing everything back into the channel for new plugins and stuff like that. Okay, what is that? I hope we're not going to go crashing into that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some evasive maneuvers there. That seemed to be some sort of mountain or something. Anyways, let's go ahead and slow down here. Let's get as much of the runway as possible. We might have to go toga thrust. Maybe flex temperature of 70 degrees wasn't the best idea. What is that? This is horrendous. Okay, yeah, I hope we're okay. I'm just worried we're not gonna have a very pleasant takeoff. That's for sure. Okay, all the lights can come on here. We'll ding the cabin one last time. Tell them to strap up, and if we die, we die. I didn't say that. We'll go ahead and get the weather radar up and running, and TCAS can come on to TARA. And the weather radar returns look very scary, so let's go ahead and turn those off, or minimize them. And we are ready for takeoff. The strobe lights are strobing. Let's go ahead and disconnect the parking brake and go 50% thrust. There we go. Symmetric thrust established. Man flex, SRS, runway, auto thrust is blue. Airspeed is alive. And we are going straight. We are going for this. Keep in mind, V1 is going to be 131, and VR is going to be 136. Hopefully we take off in time and actually get above that little whatever that is. I still don't know what that is. Okay, V1, rotate. There we go. Nice smooth departure. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Alright, we're taking a little right turn as soon as we depart. I'm going to go straight because I want to clear that thing first. That's the first order of business here. There we go. I think we've already cleared it. Yeah, I was just worrying for no reason. But I still don't know what that is, though. Wow, look at that departure. That looks beautiful. Let's see what it is. Look at that. Looks fantastic. Let's take a quick screenshot here. Alright, getting back into the flight deck. We don't want to get carried away. Yeah, let's go to lever climb here. There we go. My apologies. Anti-ice detected. Oh yeah, we should have engaged anti-ice here. There we go. I'll engage that as soon as we're done taking flap 1 in, and once we engage the autopilot here. Alright, getting close to flap 1 speed. Speed check, flap 1. There we go. We can also go ahead and engage autopilot. There we go. And let's go ahead and get the anti-ice systems up and running here. As well as the probe heat, might as well manually engage that. And let's go ahead and disconnect the master caution alarm and clear that notification from that display over there. Alright, taking that right turn now. Should be breaking out of the clouds here any second. Look at that. We have some faint visibility of the ground and terrain down there. We've accumulated a lot of ice on the surface of the aircraft. Nothing we can do there. That was my apologies that I didn't engage the anti-ice systems. But whatever. It's alright. No worries. Let's go ahead and dial the range up here to 80 nautical miles. Look at that breakthrough to the clouds. Looks fantastic. Let's also go ahead and dial in a higher altitude here. So let's go all the way to flight level 330. Let's go ahead and disengage these spoilers and get rid of some of the lights here, since we're now above the cloud layer and it's pretty bright. There we go. And we can also go ahead and get rid of the runway turnoff lights. Nose light can come off. Yeah, the rest of the lights can stay on for now. Yeah, but this looks fantastic. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We're cloud surfing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So, as usual, once we get to... Okay, yeah, we also need to give control to autopilot. Oh, actually, no. We'll go ahead and go manage descent. There we go. But yeah, this looks absolutely beautiful. I have no words for this. I love this simulator. I love that, you know, after like 30 days of not flying in the simulator, I come back and I'm greeted to this. This is fantastic. Let's also go ahead and set standard altimeter pressure. And let's set this to 290902 on the standby altimeter display down here. This can come down to 29.92. There we go. And yeah, so once we get to around 10,000 feet, I'm going to conclude this episode. So if you guys are new to the channel, all my full flight videos are divided into 2 parts. One of them covers the departure out of the departure airport, in this case Oslo, and the second episode covers the entire cruise, descent, arrival, and landing into the arrival airport, in this case the Stockholm Arlanda International Airport. So once we reach 10,000 feet, which we are only 1,000 feet away from here, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode, and you guys can check out the second part of the episode, which will be second part of the full flight, which is the next episode in the series, very, very shortly. So I upload that right about like 3-4 hours after I upload the first video. So there we go, 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get the runway turn-off lights off. If I can click it. I am unable to click it. There we go. And the wing light can also come off. And, oh, why did we just deploy the gear? Wow, that was bad. There we go. Okay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please make sure to leave a like. It greatly helps me out and greatly helps the YouTube algorithm put my videos out to other flight simmers like yourselves. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, press that little bell icon for future notifications, especially for the second episode in this series. And thanks for flying by.